Here's a good topic. Can the repugs handle the aftermath of 45? Leave your comments in the section and let me know what you think. In the wake of the Iraq War, Hurricane Katrina, and the financial crisis, in the wake of the Iraq War, Hurricane Katrina, and the financial crisis, then President Bush was broadly unpopular, and he still highly is. American troops were coming home in body bags with no end in sight and no way to measure a victory. American citizens were called refugees in their own country and dying from the failed White House response to a disaster then. The economy was about to collapse as a result of insufficient Wall Street oversight. And heading into 2008, into the 2008 election, repugs were not just worried over losing the White House, they were worried about being completely run out of Washington altogether. After suffering historic losses in the midterms, there was a common question asked among the reporters and politicos inside the Beltway: how can repugs stop this hemorrhaging? The answer was that they could not. Democrats at that time took additional seats in the White House, in the House, won the Senate, and recaptured the White House with Barack Obama leading the way. Heading into the 2020 election, repugs find themselves in a similar conundrum. American troops are dying from the conflict in Afghanistan. American citizens are losing their lives thanks to the failed White House response to the coronavirus. The economy is left in shambles with severe unemployment and an uncertain road ahead to recovery. Before even adding external factors like the protests around the country, repugs have to deal with such a historic drag at the top of the party ticket. Reporters and politicals were once again asking the same question: how can the repugs stop the hemorrhaging again? The answer is to run away from the incumbent, but that would not work this time since repugs in Congress have inextricably bound themselves with 45. For almost 4 years, the squatter has humiliated his detractors. He has forced them out of the party and sent a strong message to repugs showing any semblance of independence. 45 came into the party like the corporate raiders of the 80s with a hostile takeover. He has remade the party in his own image. He has employed his sycophants, destroyed anyone with an ounce of political courage to stand up to his abuse, and empowered those who pledged allegiance to him and him alone. If repugs run from 45 in their primaries, he has proven over that he will risk sinking their races to settle the score. If repugs refuse to protect him and defend his outbursts, it can be devastating for their political careers. This means the only option for many in the party is to stick with him no matter what and suffer the consequences. The philosophy of 45 revolves around political fireworks and personal interest, but the prospects of repugs tied to his odds and without a foil without a foil as polarizing as Hillary Clinton, it becomes that much more difficult for the squatter to use the same tactics that worked in the 2016 election. Joe Biden is trusted and liked by both voters on both sides of the aisle. Biden is shielded from much of the 45 playbook as an older white man. Biden has a critical advantage. 45 did not win because people wanted him to be squatter. 45 won because they didn't want Clinton to be president. That luck of the draw will not work this time around. Biden will not get the same benefit of the 45 will not get the same benefit of the doubt from voters due to his actions. How can repugs stop the hemorrhaging? Again, they cannot. Repugs created 45 and enabled him to ruin the party they love. All they can do now is hope and pray that he does not torch their entire party and take his base with him on his way out of Washington. As 45 goes, so do repugs, and it looks like they're going down in flames.